This is Meltdown Live, presented by MyBookie.ag. Use code NEXTROUND at MyBookie.ag for double your initial deposit. You sign on to make a deposit, they double it with code NEXTROUND at MyBookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag.
This is the Meltdown here live with you on a Tuesday. Thank you for making us a part of your daily routine here with Meltdown Live, daily, 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern, and we are thrilled to be live once again here with you. All of those that are in the comment section, thank you for being interactive here with the show as we are really excited to talk about the latest in entertainment news, especially from the Marvel front. A big Marvel day for sure. We've got the Fantastic Four trailer that we are going to be sharing our initial impressions with you on here shortly. But first and foremost, I have to bring in EG to the conversation. EG, welcome into another edition of Meltdown Live.
Hello.
You seem to be in good spirits, good mood today. Why is that?
Well, Tim, we had a great night of poker last night.
We did. Now, I'm not the best at math, but if I'm correct here, you and I made up 50% of the money field last night.
We did.
Top 4 spots paid. We were number 1 and number 4.
I'll take that.
I think it was a big win for both of us in a lot of regards, and it's kind of got us a little bit reinvigorated to get back to the felt here very soon because
Yeah.
you're having a heck of a season.
So far, so good. I feel like I'm really finding and hitting my stride when it comes to poker. And we had these really cool additions to the poker club in the form of medals.
Yes, we have a brand new chip set, which we debuted last night.
Yep.
And we also have these medals that now you are a proud owner of. And I'll be honest, I got a little jealous.
Yeah.
Medals were being handed out, and I hadn't gotten one yet.
I mean, I'm a little jealous. Y'all were testing the new chips the other day, and I was like, man, I need to join the club. Those are some nice chips. I mean, very nice colors and
Wow.
very, very bright effects in it. It's amazing.
You know what I think that's called? It's called a Tyler Tease right there.
That is, yes.
Because now I want to see Tyler mixing
the
it up
felt?
here on the felt. Come play some poker with us. We had Hunter Bussey join us last night.
We did.
He made his poker debut, and he finished top 6. I believe.
He did. Yeah, made it to the final table, first game.
That's incredible in his first rookie outing there. So, look, poker's a big part of our identity here.
Mhm.
Something that bonds us. It's hard to explain just how special it is when a Monday night gets here.
We have so much fun.
Like, do they have things like this in Georgia? I don't think they do.
I don't think they do. But I always tell people that I do not think that wherever my next venture takes me in life, it's going to be really sad because the makeup of our poker club is so unique. I simply won't find it anywhere else.
That is
Thanks, CG. I thought we were all just gonna be here forever.
Yeah. Sorry, Tyler.
I'm glad. Oh no,
I'm
it's
not
cool.
going
You wanna
anywhere.
leave? Go ahead.
No, okay. No. I'm not going anywhere. But wherever my next venture takes me in life, wherever that is, I know that the poker club is unique to Birmingham, Alabama.
so you don't have an announcement that you're leaving.
Well, no, not at all.
Gosh, you scared us all a little bit there,
No,
EG.
not even a little bit. But I do share with people like that something that has been my, personal biggest blessing when I moved here was I pretty much by my second month I was in the poker club and that gave me somewhere to be on Monday nights when I literally knew no one here. I moved to Birmingham with no knowledge of the city, had never even been here, which is kind of crazy. I'd like driven through it maybe. But I had
Typical Atlanta person. I didn't know a thing about Birmingham. I guess I drove through it a few
Yeah.
times.
It's like
Mhm.
what is
No,
this is what you guys call a city over here.
I think that it's odd that I had never been here before for any reason because it's so proximal to Atlanta. And I remember what?
That's the nicest thing any Atlanta person has ever said about Birmingham. It's so proximal to our city. Like that's the way Atlanta. Everything you see as a compliment, I hear with that Atlanta tone that I hate. Your mic screen's about to fall off, by the way. I just want
It
to let you
is?
know. Yeah, it is. You keep knocking it further and further off. There you go. Okay, great. Anyway, as an Atlanta person, you love certain aspects of Birmingham. The first one, first
Poker
and
club.
foremost, is the poker club.
Yeah.
So we're having a great time. We're having a great season.
We are.
I mean, there's a chance you win this season. It's not out of the realm of
Well,
possibility.
so here's the thing what I was thinking about. I was doing my planner calendar for the month of February. If you guys don't know, I'm addicted to colorful pens and just
You have
yeah.
them with you. Because this was an absurd amount of pins that I feel like I stumbled upon today. Look at this.
Oh.
Look at this.
Whoa.
Yes.
And
Yo,
there's
what?
still more all in here.
Are you like sniffing them? Like, why do you have so many?
Everything is color coded in my life.
But EG, that's a little.
I feel like you've
Orange.
got some repeat colors
I
in
do
there.
because I like the 0.5, not the 0.7 ballpoint tip. Papermate Inkjoy gels. That's a Papermate pen. Yeah.
Tim, have
Enjoy.
you ever
Yep.
have you ever put this much thought into the pen you use?
So I do care about the pen I use being of quality,
Mm-hmm.
but I've never
But
had
do
a.
you get into the specifics though? Or do you just pick it up and it's like, yeah, this feels good?
Yeah,
And I
pretty
know a
much.
lot of people that are very specific with their pens. So the
Uh,
Sharpie gel pens are incredible. These do skip a little bit, but the color selection, these are the best. This is my birthday pen. Everything gets written down.
What do
People's
you think this says
birthdays.
about your personality?
I like things a certain way. And if it's not that way, I don't like it.
That's bold
yeah.
that you said the same thing twice in different ways, and it sounds like it was meant to be that way.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
So, but I say that because I was filling out my calendar and I realized that the last week of February, that Monday, I'm not going to be here. I know.
really?
Yeah. And I
Ooh.
was not planning on missing a game this season, but that really does hurt me.
Well, we dropped 5 of the 15, so it's not,
Yeah.
it's basically a mulligan,
Which is good.
but just
Yeah.
pretend you finished last that night and you saved the money. There you go.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
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 All right.
So, anyways, but I was kind of sad about that.
It's a very aggressive way to pack up the pins. I don't know. The pins have intimidated me today, and I don't know why. I think I'm still suffering from the Luka Doncic trade that occurred over the weekend that I have not gotten over. Occasionally, employees around the building will walk in on me bawling in a
Quiet, dark room.
correct, and I have to explain that it's just the Luka trade that's gotten me. But
Did you
it,
see the presser?
I saw bits of the presser, and it's hard to watch the whole thing because that was our guy, that was our dude.
He looks slim.
Well, he's kind of had a lot of shots taken at him with his conditioning and everything, and he is a bigger guard for sure, but he can really play almost any position out on the court. And his size is something that I see more as an advantage than a hindrance. But they feel like long term, they had to dish him out, and still stinks. Anyway, I'm not going to go back down that rabbit hole of being very sad. Instead, I'm going to talk to my good buddy Tyler Lionel Johns. Tyler, you went to the movies yesterday and you saw 2 films. Is that correct?
No, I only saw the one.
Oh, you saw 1. Okay. For some reason, I thought you had seen 2 films. You saw Presence, which has been championed by some as being horror adjacent, but
Whew.
it's a stretch.
Yeah, by people who don't have eyes, Tim. That's who's calling this a horror movie. And that's not to dog on the movie. It's just not a horror movie, and I was misled by the movie's marketing. They make you think this is going to be just somewhat of a twist on the typical haunted house tale, but it ends up being more like a drama where you witness some family dynamics at play, some tensions rise, and you see it all through the point of view of a ghost in the house.
Lucy Liu's in this movie, is that correct?
Yes, she does very well. She's not a likable character in this movie, but she does it well.
Okay.
I mean, I was getting mad.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So it is effective in some ways.
Yes, like it is well acted, and even though I don't like the first person sort of gimmick they go with this movie, I think it's well shot. Um, overall pretty well written. There's some points here and there where I was like, "Ooh, that was a little
So
cringe."
this is one of those movies where you like the micro, but you hate the macro of it.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
got like
If you had taken all of these performances, this level of skill in camera work, same writing, just had it
right.
shot as like a traditional horror film.
It's got no
Well,
broken bones, but it's like its flesh is melting.
yeah, that makes sense.
And it's a ghost
Yeah.
movie, so I mean, it kind of works.
You painted a picture.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I did. I hope everyone has enjoyed their lunch hour whenever you may have had it. Which, by the way, we recommend Culver's. Culver's here. We're in the Culver studio right now, and tomorrow we're going to be welcoming in Joe from Culver's, who's been on the show a couple of times, and he's going to come in and help us with a DVD mystery unboxing, which is one of our most fun things we do every single week. and we're going to dine on some delicious Culvers,
Oh, yeah.
and we would recommend that you do the same thing.
He's gonna help us with the mystery box and also help us find what we want to eat tomorrow.
Correct.
Excited. You guys should get Culver's and join us while we eat Culver's.
That is correct.
That is a good idea. You can
Yeah.
munch along your Butterburger right alongside us.
Yeah.
And there may be some people that have like a Butterburger. I've never heard of such a thing.
It just sounds good.
I'm telling you, it's not maybe what you think it is. It's not two buns with a big stick of butter. It's just the perfectly crisped bun, just toasted to perfection with the butter in there to where it's not like overwhelming. It's like the right amount of butter.
I
EG,
love
you
butter.
love popcorn.
I love popcorn. I love butter.
Can you eat popcorn without butter
I mean,
if you had to?
if I had to, I don't like too much butter where it's soggy,
Correct.
but I think the Culver's sandwich burger bun, is the perfect mix.
Yes, it is.
There's no sogginess. It's crisp.
Try
We
it for
haven't even
yourself.
gotten to the patty yet. That's sort of smash burger style.
Look,
Ooh,
yeah.
Look,
delish.
I'm also, for those that know me deeply personally, in my personal life, deeply interpersonally, I'm really trying to get the point across that those who know me the most
Yeah.
in my personal life, deeply personally,
Interpersonally.
they know that I'm a big fan of ketchup. I'm a ketchup fanatic. Okay. Now, to some people, they turn their nose up to that. I'm
Yeah.
sure. Are you one of those people? You're not a ketchup person?
No. I'm just saying I know there are some ketchup haters, like
Oh, okay.
mayonnaise haters.
I love ketchup, and they've got the ketchup pumps at Culver's. You know what I'm talking about?
Love.
With the cups, with the plastic cups where you
Love.
can like get the right amount and it's a wide enough. That's an important thing for ketchup lovers. And Culver's has that. Get yourself a Butterburger. Go enjoy their ketchup. Tyler is team onion rings. I'm team fries.
I love both.
Most like Scott Forster's team cheese curds. Like you can't go wrong with any side there at Culver. So enjoy it. Okay. We're excited about Culver's coming to town here tomorrow on the Meltdown. But we're also, I think, pretty excited about the trailer we got today. Fantastic Four First Steps. Tyler, overly excited.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So let's talk about where we're at. Superhero cinema's in the dumps right now.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of people care about the current state of superhero cinema when it comes to some recent misfires like Madam Web, Craven the Hunter, et cetera, et cetera. Superman sort of re-energized everybody with the trailer that was released from James Gunn, but then they put out that awful looking weird cross-eyed version of Superman where he's flying.
That was bad.
It was bad, and it created a little bit of divisiveness and hate for sure. And there's a lot of people wondering if Captain America Brave New World is going to divide fans even further with the press tour that's been abysmal. Horrible press tours, not selling tickets, it's making people stay home. It's coming out here very soon this month. So, a lot of people expect it to be sort of a clunker based on the fact that there's been so many reshoots and so much drama and so much insecurity with the confidence of that film. We got a trailer today for the Fantastic Four First Steps, and the bar being relatively low in the superhero genre right now.
Bar being even lower for the Fantastic Four franchise.
Yeah, they haven't gotten it right since I've been alive. Really ever cinematically. I mean, it's just never been good. It's never been good. I hated the first Fantastic Four from the minute I saw it. I was like, this is...
We talking about the Jessica Alba one?
Yeah.
Yeah, not
Chris
good.
Evans
Yeah,
is the Human
awful.
Torch in there. And I'm trying to remember who played the Thing. It was Michael Chiklis.
That sounds right.
That is right.
I don't know enough about the original Fantastic Four to dispute it.
Michael Chiklis played the Thing. It's
Yep.
not a good movie. It was about how do we put pretty people in these roles and sell that. And
I'm sorry, Tim. I'm just looking at the cast right now. So it's got the Fantastic Four. Doctor Doom. Who do you think is credited next?
I don't know. TV Reporter 1.
Maria Menounos as
Oh.
Sexy Nurse. Now,
Sexy Nurse.
if you're not 100% sure who Maria Menounos is, just go get some gas later.
Right.
Better news.
She was on Access Hollywood there for a hot minute. She's a super fan when it comes to wrestling, by the way.
Really?
Yep. Big wrestling fan. and she's on every single time you pump gas, and you look for what button mutes this thing that's screaming at me while I'm just trying to get the gas.
And there isn't one. That's the scary thing.
Anyway, what was not scary was this trailer. I thought it was really strong. I think it sets the entire visual tone for what you should expect from this version of the Fantastic Four in sort of a retro futuristic 60s look. Tyler, before we get your thoughts, EG, did you get a chance to
Yeah.
watch the trailer?
Yes, I did.
What did you think of the visual look of this, the style of it? I don't know if you're a fan of like 60s fashion or 60s era
Yeah.
looks, or how much you sort of have studied Jackie O and her sort of presentation as
Oh,
First Lady. But I would assume that that's been like
style
somebody.
inspo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm right on that.
Yes, for sure.
Tell me what you think of this trailer from the look of it.
So I like the futuristic element you mentioned. I thought that that really added, like the cake plate popping up from the countertop. That was something I noticed. There were certain things with some of the outfits that, for example, I'm not sure the woman's name, but she was seen in one of the first few frames in the cream dress.
Mhm.
And the dress itself, like the silhouette, totally 60s. But then she's wearing like a Chelsea boot, which is very not 60s. And so that kind of threw me off. And I kept thinking about that. I was like, that's such an easy thing. Just do like a little pair of kitten heels and like on it. I thought the hairstyles were very 60s. The TV scene where they're watching the astronaut situation, I thought that was really well done. But what really stuck out to me was I thought like the coloring, is that the correct terminology? Like
Sure.
the
Yeah.
coloring of the scenes that they were showing were very 60s feeling. So I definitely felt like this was an ode and a nod to that time period with those futuristic elements. There were some like makeup choices that were not 60s makeup, and that's very nitpicky, but a little too much of like 2024 makeup when I need a little more 60s makeup because that's very distinct looks as well.
I'll tell you, you can accuse EG of a lot of things, right? But not doing her homework is not something you can
See,
accuse
this is
EG of.
why we have her for reacting to this trailer. You and me are just gonna nerd out about like what this means for the MCU, possible characters, and all that.
For me, it's
It,
Galactus.
and
Yeah.
Galactus, everything like that. And EG's over here, due diligence. That's not right.
Thank you,
Go back to the
Tyler.
drawing board. That's
Wow.
not a 60s hairstyle.
Yeah.
That's not 60s shoes.
I'm blown away by all of
Yeah.
that. But you can get away with this not being our version of the 60s because I'm not sure it
Right.
is.
No,
It is not. It's
Right.
supposed to be a
no.
retro futuristic
Yeah,
world.
Yes.
and that threw me off initially until I saw, like, the little cake plate pop up and the different elements of technology because I was a little confused. Oh, the blue car, I thought that was really cool, and, like, the different cars that you could see, that was well done, but it definitely is not a true 60s, it's, I feel like, comic book 60s.
This movie comes out in July. Tyler, I want to get your full impression here in a second, but I've just got to ask this question while it's on top of my head. Are this and Superman going to be able to live in the same time frame and not be sort of looked at as one oversaturating the other? Like there's 12 months in a year.
Mhm.
The two biggest superhero movies of the year come out at the same month, like what, a week apart, 2 weeks apart. Is it too close together? Is it going to just get all mumbled together? I don't know. I worry that there's not enough of a breath that's going to be taken to give both their proper due. Like space these things out a little bit. That's my opinion.
I can see that, but I can also see the argument of no, let's have Marvel versus DC squaring off right now. Let's make fans decide their allegiance and then also maybe possibly going, you know what, maybe double feature this. If you miss Fantastic for the first weekend, maybe
Oh,
little double feature, go Fantastic Man.
So it's kind of like you need to see both to really
Super
form
full.
your opinion. I got you. I got you.
mm.
I got what you're saying. Tell me what you think of this trailer, Tyler. What's your thoughts?
I think this is easily the best looking Fantastic Four property we've had in my lifetime. Easily.
Oh yeah,
I love the retro futuristic world, that sort of sci-fi Fallout looking world, obviously without the post-apocalyptic stuff.
right.
Um,
And not enough Walton Goggins for
yeah,
sure. I mean, we need more Walton Goggins in our life.
I would take Walton Goggins as this universe's Doctor Doom. That's just me.
I'm
That's
all
just
about it.
that's just me.
Tyler, you're on a heater today. I'm all about it.
I'm cooking. All right. Now, I do have to take a little bit of a victory lap today.
Please do.
I told you I was going to do this.
Okay.
And that is because yesterday when we talked about the trailer teaser, I mentioned the TV screens in the trailer showing the Baxter building, a rocket launch, which I said was going to be news coverage of the Fantastic Four's first mission into space where they get their powers. And then you see a car in one of the screens, and I said that was going to be the Fantastic car. I'm 3 for 3, son.
Wow.
I killed it. I told you exactly what was going to happen in the trailer. Nailed it. So, a little pat on the back for me there.
Well, go ahead and pat
All
yourself.
right.
There we go. There we go.
There we go. It looked great. I love the look of the thing. I love that super comic accurate looking
I
thing.
was gonna say the only thing you didn't get was that the actor from The Bear is actually going to be cooking in this thing. Like if
Yeah.
you had had that, it would have been
That
cherry
would
on
have
top
been
of
a
the
wild prediction. But yes, gosh, I'm forgetting his name now who's playing thing.
He's got a tough name.
He does have a tough name.
Back Rat.
Yeah.
It's a difficult name.
Where? Dang, they showed yes, Ebon Moss Backrat.
Yes.
And he plays in The Bear. Apparently, he helps around the kitchen.
Yeah.
And he's cooking it up with a robot in this trailer. And I really liked that part.
Yes. Yeah. And I think they got the design of the thing
Oh, yeah,
like
they nailed it.
good. But for some reason, it's very important for me the head shape of the thing in this, like
Mhm.
how well it works. And I don't know. I think the character design looks good. I think the sort of like wink and nod at the audience as in like we know we're crushing it right now and like
Yes.
we're kind of it's kind of the feeling I got, and maybe I'm way off here, but it's like this is not only the best Fantastic Four brought to life, but it feels like the Jetsons has been brought to life for me.
The Jetsons?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could
Do you
see
see
it.
that?
We just need Astro
Yeah.
in the mix because we've got the Rosie stand-in. We saw the Herbie robot cooking it up with the thing.
Feels very Jetsons to me.
Yes, I love just the overall aesthetic and the feel of it. And from what I've heard, this will start with the Fantastic Four sort of already having their powers.
Mhm.
So I think it has the chance to really bring up some interesting takes on the characters without having to see them go through the radiation
Right.
belt again and then going, oh, I'm turning orange.
People are over origin stories for the most part.
They're done with them.
We've been force fed them enough. We get it. Let's just get right to the good stuff. Instead of trying to do that setup movie to get to the bigger movie, make the big movie right out of the gate.
And I wonder how much of the blame would you place on Batman and Spider-Man for this? Because I would place it entirely on those two characters with every Batman origin story just being done the exact same way down to the slow-mo shot of the pearls falling.
So yes, those are the two that constantly we don't need to see Uncle Ben die again. We
Yes.
don't need to see the pearls. We don't need to see Joe Chill
Yeah.
or whoever else they want killing Batman's parents. We even saw it in Joker. I mean, we even saw it played out again in the 2019 Joker movie. But also, another culprit of this is Fantastic Four because we've gotten multiple origin story
That's
movies
true.
for them, and they're not falling into that same trap. So I think that that's important, and I'm happy about that. But I feel like this one is going to be fun. I feel like the chemistry of the cast matters the most of anything.
Mhm.
The look of it is great.
Is there anybody in the main four that you're not quite sold on?
Yes,
Is it Joseph Quinn as
yes,
Johnny? Yeah. It's same here.
because I'm still recovering from Gladiator 2. And what I thought was a really odd performance, a really odd, like, what was going on
It's
with the
very odd.
Emperors in that movie. I mean, it was
Mhm.
like that, it was felt cartoonish. It did not feel grounded with what else I was seeing. And then Denzel was just playing himself in Gladiator 2. I mean, he's literally just himself.
Somehow the most unrealistic part of Gladiator was Joseph Quinn's acting, not the sharks in
Yeah.
the Colosseum.
I'm not a Stranger Things fanatic, so
Mm-hmm.
I can't give him any credit for that. But Joseph Quinn worries me a little bit. But we also saw almost nothing of Johnny in this movie. I'm sorry, in this trailer.
Yeah.
We almost saw nothing, no material of his. And I feel like in the first official trailer we get, the full length, even though this is a pretty lengthy teaser,
Mhm.
we're going to get way more of him in this role playing this sort of,
The comic relief.
not only the comic relief, but also sort of like the bad boy. I mean, he has to
Yeah.
kind of play that up too. So we're going to get more of that for sure. But I think that I'm very happy with this trailer.
Mhm.
I don't think it's a misfire on any means. There's just the last chance that the Fantastic Four has to be culturally relevant in cinema. This is it.
Yes, because I mean, at this point, I mean, how many generations do you go where nobody can remember a decent Fantastic Four?
Yeah. Well,
Because the first one came out when I was, like 6 years old.
yeah.
And they brought it back when I was like 16. It fell both of those times. And now we're doing it again when I'll be 26. And it's still going to be a mess if they do not get this right. I think it causes all of those characters to just die out in sort of a cultural relevance. I mean, you can even make the case now that are they really that relevant?
Not yet. They're hoping to make them
I would
relevant.
say Doctor Doom is more relevant than the entirety of the Fantastic Four, and that's just simply because the character design is so strong.
I don't think this is a controversial statement, but I'm sorry to any Fantastic Four fans that I may end up offending, which, by the way, Kevin Feige, the world's biggest Fantastic Four fan, loves the Fantastic Four. Well, I say that. He also loves X-Men, also loves Star Wars, but also loves the Fantastic Four, wants to get them right. But the most iconic Fantastic Four thing in movies in our lifetime is John Krasinski showing up as Mr. Fantastic in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and getting ripped to shreds by Wanda. And that is the most iconic moment of the Fantastic Four is basically Mr. Fantastic being destroyed. And that's where we're at so far. So let's see what happens with this version of the Fantastic Four. And let's hope that they get it right. But, e.g., if I right now gave you a bucket of popcorn and said you can either walk into this Fantastic Four movie or you can walk into Superman, which one of those two movies are you wanting to see right now with a big bucket of buttery popcorn?
Superman.
Not even, no hesitation.
No hesitation.
Why?
I like the premise of Superman more. I have more of a connection to that character. Was there a cartoon of Fantastic Four at some point?
Sure.
Was there?
I mean, I don't think it was
Because
popular.
I have like a memory of the Fantastic Four, but I don't know why.
Maybe. I mean, I want to say yes, but I mean,
There was a show in 1967. There was a
No.
show in 1994. And they also popped up in the what was that? Fantastic Four: World's Greatest Heroes from
I don't know.
2006 to 2010.
Maybe it was that. But I have this vague memory of the Fantastic Four. I felt like the trailer didn't tell me enough about them to be interested in their story. Whereas Superman, I feel like I want to see Lois. I want to see Clark Kent. I want to see Superman.
both categorized. Am I correct that both were categorized as teaser trailers?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
Pretty
looking
pretty intense
forward.
teasers.
I'm looking forward to Superman. Like I think about it often.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Because I think Superman right now it's still my most anticipated movie of the year. And for a lot of people, I feel like they share that same feat. But the fact that we're going to get both of these, what are the release dates? Is it July 7th and
But I thought Superman was July 11th.
July 11th, and then the next week is Fantastic Four? Is that correct?
I thought Fantastic Four came out like July 4th. Oh no, July 25th. I was very wrong.
I like Superman being a July 4th release.
Okay, so they're 2 weeks apart.
Yes.
That's a
It's just too. I feel like it's too close.
I agree. I don't know. I mean, why would they not have moved Fantastic Four to like a June release or
Because it's a game of chicken, and neither one want to be looked at as flinching. Like
yeah.
neither one of them want to move. And make no mistake, while these are competitors, DC and Marvel, if
Each one needs the other one to crush.
correct,
So why
You need as much interest in the superhero genre as possible right now.
correct. It's like a conference thing. It's like they're both playing within the same conference.
Okay.
And in order to make their case as to why they're the best in the country, they
They
gotta have the competition there on rivalry week to be able to say like,
Okay.
hey, we've earned our spot, we've earned our cred. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Look at me using sports analogies to make sure that movies are understood. We need more of that.
We do need more of that.
Okay. Luka Doncic left and broke my heart. And he didn't leave. He was forced out. There's a difference, but he's gone. And I
He is
just find
gone.
myself every now and then falling back into that deep
Pit of despair.
pit of despair. And then I realize that I'm on a show right now and I'm talking about it verbally.
Yeah.
And then I go, what am I doing here?
On that note,
Real quick before we get to a chat check-in, I want to go from the Fantastic Four to telling you about 3 fantastic dentists. They are the best. We encourage you to reach out to the dental team that we trust most, located on Grants Mill Road. That's Dr. Jeff, Dr. Brian, and Dr. Nolan over in Alabama Dental Associates, providing you all sorts of services when it comes to staying on top of your dental health. I posted my photo that you took, by the way, of me holding my winning cards last
with
night.
your slide of placards across the felt.
Slide of placards across the felt. And Dr. Brian, who's going to come play poker next week with us.
Okay.
His favorite hand is Queen Deuce, and he photoshopped me holding Queen Deuce in my hand. It's a horrible hand. Let's be honest. It's a horrible hand for a fantastic dentist. And who knows? Maybe you're new in town, need to make sure you have a dentist on standby, or maybe you just need to get on top of those regular cleanings. They're accepting new patients now at Alabama Dental Associates, helping you feel at ease about all of your upcoming dental procedures. For more information or to make an appointment, call them 205-956-8977 or visit alabamadental.com, where they look forward to seeing you. All right, Tyler, check-in. What you got for us?
I have got a bunch of stuff in the chat. Thank you, everyone, for contributing to the conversation. We love to see it. Hunter says, did y'all catch the multiverse bridge on Reed Richards' chalkboard? I did not. Did you?
I've watched it once and have not gone through any breakdowns or anything. And I'm not accusing you of having seen this on a breakdown compared to seeing it with your own natural eyes, but it did not stand out to me the first time through. But I promise that tonight I'm going to be suggested a video on YouTube that is a 27-minute breakdown of the minute and a half that we got.
Fast with them too. It's that one channel. I know exactly which channel you're talking about too.
I love the breakdowns, but I'm also thinking to myself, I kind of like just being sort of spoon-fed instead of having a dump truck of information just poured on top of my head. My gosh, that would be a different type of situation there. Anyway, someone else has got to speak.
The Grammys with Kanye. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Let's see.
It is geek porn for sure.
Hunter said that the multiverse bridge made him lose all his lucky charms when he saw it. People are talking about how great that Joseph Quinn is in Stranger Things. Daniel says apparently Stranger Things may be bumped back again. Is that not the conversation we had a while back on whether it would end up hitting screens this year?
Yeah, they came out and said that it may not make it in 2025. It may be they're trying their hardest to get it out in time.
I've seen they're trying their hardest. It's like 8 blockbuster movies.
Yeah.
They're doing the most to make everybody say, please don't forget about us. Please, please. But we'll see what happens. Stan the Man 68 says, what's up with Ben's voice in the trailer? Did you have any strong thoughts on the Thing's voice?
I didn't. I mean, I was fine with everything. Nothing was upsetting to me that I had heard.
Same here.
But, I don't know. I'll go back and watch it again, maybe have some stronger thoughts on that, but it didn't stand out to me as a negative there.
Stan the Man also says Pedro Pascal was miscast, and I still don't know how I feel about Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic.
And that we won't know until we see the movie.
I agree with that.
So, how many times in superhero cinema have we heard somebody is miscast and then they end up giving an all-time performance? Michael Keaton was miscast as Batman. He's a lot of people's favorite. Heath Ledger was miscast as Joker. He's a lot of people's favorite.
Robert Pattinson was miscast as Batman.
Hugh Jackman miscast as Wolverine. Even when, it's nonstop. Every Batman almost. Ben Affleck, the world.
He couldn't get away from it.
The world was just up in arms about how you're going to cast Ben Affleck as Batman. And then most people believe it's the most comic, accurate version of Bruce Wayne we've ever gotten on screen.
I agree. I like Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne.
I like Ben Affleck's Batman and Bruce Wayne in a different universe. We just haven't seen that universe. Unfortunately, we got fed the universe we got fed, but I
That's fair.
like it in a different universe.
That is fair.
Okay.
Hunter also says he just dissected the trailer like it was the JFK footage. I believe it.
Well, hopefully, with some of the release of the JFK files here, we learn even more about that situation. Okay, so while we're on the topic of really nerdy stuff, I have tasked Tyler with coming up with a meltdown countdown of 5 X-Men castings that make sense to him. Maybe some of these have been rumored, maybe some of these are his own creation, but either way, he thinks that maybe they're a good fit. We know the X-Men are about to make a big splash in the MCU. The question is, how many new faces will we see associated with characters that we already know and love? Or who knows, maybe there's some new characters in here that Tyler has cast. I have no idea what direction he's going with this meltdown countdown, but I'd love to hear more, Tyler. How did you approach this task?
So I started off this task with, well, who are they actually looking at for this X-Men reboot? Because reportedly, according to leakers, they are eyeing up actors between 20 and 30 years old. So not teenagers. They're not going for another, was it New Mutants?
Right.
They're not going for another one of those. They're going for, let's get somebody young that can play this role for the next 8 to 10 years.
I hope that you cast yourself as Quicksilver.
I would take that role.
You would take that role?
I would take that role. I think he has one of the best scenes in Days of Future Past.
I could see you as a Quicksilver for some reason. That's what's standing out to me.
'Cause I'm
Anyway,
always running around the studio.
maybe a pyro. Maybe you're a pyro.
Oh, pyro.
I'm starting to see
Pyro.
a
I go evil.
little bit of pyro there.
Hmm.
Maybe even a Nightcrawler. I don't know. I'm kind of
You
just
like
throwing it around.
Nightcrawler.
Okay, let's do this. Let's go ahead and jump into number 5 on the Meltdown Countdown.
All right. I do need to little preface for this list real quick. I did not pick anybody who has already been in an X-Men movie for obvious reasons. I also didn't pick any sort of character reprisals or cameos, anything like that. Um, and I went with characters that you probably know. I didn't go like stupid deep cuts with this. There's no Negasonic Teenage Warhead or anything like that. So, moving on, starting with number 7, it is one that has actually been rumored, one a lot of people that are putting people are putting a lot of stock into, and that's Cynthia Erivo as Storm. Now, I've got this at number 7 because I don't want to see it. And I just wanted to throw it in as an honorable mention. So we'll move on because I don't care to talk about Cynthia Erivo
She
anymore.
really wants that role.
She really wants it. I'm indifferent. I mean, obviously, I prefer Halle Berry as Storm, but whatever. They got to recast her sometime.
Yeah.
So
Cynthia Erivo wants Storm the way Dave Bautista's always wanted Bane. I mean, those two things have always been out there. And really quickly, we're going to continue on with your next honorable mention. E.g., are you totally over Wicked? Are you totally over the press campaign, the Oscar campaign, the
Yes.
TikTok
Yes.
interviews?
Yes. All of it. It is. And Tyler, you were ahead of your time. I'm going to say it. You were ahead of your time.
He was.
And like, I am just anxiously dreading the Wicked Part 2.
You and I won at the poker table last night.
Yeah.
Tyler won today. He's won all today. All of his prop
Really?
bets have paid off, and they
Yeah.
all have. Okay, we're over Wicked for sure. But EG is leaving her DMs open if Cynthia Erivo or Ariana Grande want to sit down for an interview for the Meltdown.
You know, honestly, that would be probably like such a strange interview. I mean,
Well, I want to see.
the interviews they give are strange.
yeah, I mean, I'd be open to it, obviously. Hey guys, if you want to sit down, that would be unique.
Every now and then it's like,
just please don't come into our studio, Cynthia Erivo, and start holding space again or whatever that other nonsense
yeah,
was.
it's interesting. Every now and then it'll be
God,
like,
that was
do
awkward.
you realize how powerful y'all's performances are? And they'll look at each other like,
Like,
oh my
just
gosh,
we-
it's just, they'll hold each other his hands and they'll start to like tear up and cry. It's just the weirdest
They
thing.
hold on to each other like they're a codependent couple. It's very weird.
It's strange. Anyway, let's move on to your next honorable mention here.
Yes, moving on. This is one I could kind of see. I don't think this actor is quite big enough to land a major role like this yet, but he has been getting some buzz with his performance in Challengers early last year, and that is Mike Faced, and I'm casting him as Iceman. I think he would do a good job. He kind of has that cocky attitude that Iceman's known for. Yeah, I'm walking around with kitty pride. What of it?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% certain Iceman is the right role, but I can't come up with a better one right now. So for that reason, it is the right role currently.
Well, all right. Well, now we'll get into number 5, the
Okay.
actual top 5 X-Men rumored casting choices. I don't know. Number 5, this is not one that has been announced, rumored in any way, shape, or form, but after I tell you about it, I think you'll agree that this is a good choice, and that would be Thomas Brody Sangster as Warren Worthington III, aka Angel. You might recognize Thomas Brody Sangster from Maze Runner or the Sex Pistols show on, I believe it was Hulu, or some of his other roles. But I think he has that sort of pompous energy that Warren Worthington III just needs.
Oh, okay. I recognize the face. I didn't know the name.
Yes.
I definitely recognize the face. And I love that you pulled what is the X-Men The Last Stand
Yes.
Angel there because it is actually like you can see it. It makes a lot of sense. So a strong start there and not one that I would have ever been able to predict. I would have never predicted that. When I saw Mike Faced, I was thinking maybe potentially Angel for him,
Oh, that'd be an interesting role.
but I think I like your pairings better for being what they are. So,
Well, thank you, Tim.
especially after Challengers, because he's got he has to have a little bit of an energy in there
Oh
that
yeah.
is Iceman. Okay, let's move on to number 4.
All right, number 4, another actor that we saw recently in 2024. He plays in a sort of sultry drama, you could say. And so this character needs a little bit of romance in the X-Men world, and so that's why I'm going with Harris Dickinson from Baby Girl as Cyclops.
Oh man, I'm just remembering Baby Girl and having watched that movie. Can you imagine going into like an evening showing of Baby Girl and there just being one other person in the theater tonight? How awkward that would be.
Ugh.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm also imagining my grandma calling me like, "Hey, G, should I go see Baby Girl with Nicole Kidman?"
Did you did tell her
Yes,
like
yes.
do not do this.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I like the choice. I hate the hairstyle you pulled because it looks like he desperately needs some shampoo and conditioner there.
Yeah, not too many good pictures of him.
It looks like he's about to like be in a knife fight in the 50s, but
Yeah, he looks very he's got like a Peaky Blinders looking haircut here.
he does. Not the best hairdo for the role, but um you know, that's an interesting pull. That's an interesting pull for sure. The
I wanted to find actors that were sort of current and very working very recently.
Yeah,
Like for the Iceman pick, I originally had Dylan O'Brien in
yeah.
that pick, who was the lead in Maze Runner, but his sort of stars kind of fallen off, so I swapped him with Mike Feast.
I don't want to screw this up for you. But so far, this is the list that I feel like you've done the absolute best job on so far. So far. Now, I may end up changing my opinion. We'll see how it goes. But so far, you're knocking it out of the park. What's next?
This one is a bit of a I think this is an out there pick for me, but this continues along with the theme of people who had a very strong showing in 2024, and that will continue with this pick right here. We recently saw this actor, older gentleman, play with a little bit of a Eastern European inflection on his voice.
Okay.
And so I think it would just be perfect if Adrian Brody played Magneto.
Oh, man.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me about it, Tim.
Oh, wow.
Tell me you cannot see it.
I'll tell you this there's a 0% chance that Adrian Brody would take the role.
Oh, no, I agree. But I've seen
He,
some rumors, but I wouldn't chalk it up anything more to just people wishful thinking on the internet. But I think he would do a great job.
couple of thoughts. I have a couple of thoughts here. The reason Adrian Brody would not take the role is because there's no way he's going to end up pigeonholing himself again into being a 3-time Holocaust survivor in cinema. Like, he's already got the pianist, he's already
Brutalist.
got the brutalist, and he's not going to be the Magnetoist for sure, I don't think. but I do love his acting chops for the role. I love his charisma, but I still think about Michael Fassbender.
You know, he's great. And to be completely honest, I was looking for a replacement for Michael Fassbender. I wasn't gonna try to replace um
Ian
blanking
McKellen,
Ian McKellen. I don't know how I blanked on his name there.
or
Dude's knighted even.
Sir Ian
Sir
McKellen, I
Ian
should say.
McKellen, exactly.
But
But yeah, I like Adrian Brody as a young Magneto.
the scene of Michael Fassbender in the bar in First Class
Yeah.
is so good. Fassbender has this rage behind him. He got watered down over time
Hmm.
because they couldn't keep up that sort of
Well, the
performance.
movies, the writing got watered down too.
Yeah, which is why the hard reset is needed, which is why we can't bring Fassbender back.
Hmm.
Okay, let's move on to the next one, Tyler.
Number two, runner up on my list, someone who is reportedly currently being eyed to play Jean Grey. You cannot make an X-Men movie without having Jean Grey?
I disagree.
Really?
Or I should say, I disagree. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're Jean Greyed out. I'm Jean Greyed out.
Really? Okay. I'm not saying you've got to make the Dark Phoenix sort of storyline the focal point, but you, I don't think you can go to Xavier's school for gifted youngsters and not have Jean Grey in there in some form
Okay,
or fashion.
okay.
And this actress, in my opinion, really needs a vehicle to propel her career because Sadie Sink has gotten some starring roles and they just haven't panned out for her. She is best known as Max in Stranger Things, and I think she would make a great Jean Grey if you're going for a young Jean Grey. Because when we did the original X-Men trilogy, the actress that played Jean Grey was already in her 30s. James Marsden was already almost to 30, playing Cyclops for the first time. So I think this would be a good switch up, still comic accurate, and I think Sadie Sink is a good actress. She just needs a good vehicle so her career does not die off after Stranger Things.
The former Jean Grey is now Laura Croft. Is that right? Like
Uh, oh, yeah.
Sansa Stark,
Sophie Turner,
Sophie
yes.
Turner,
Okay, I was thinking of Jean Grey from the original movie, and
Famke Janssen,
yes,
Johnson.
and I was like, "Wait a minute, no, I did not hear about that." But yes,
She
Sophie,
would make a better Laura Croft than potentially what we're going to be getting from Sophie Turner. Sophie Turner does.
you're right.
Sophie Turner is not a Laura Croft. But anyway,
No,
we won't get into that. This is about X-Men.
I thought Alicia Vikander was good casting, but
I, I
movie
am
didn't work.
I am so Jean Greyed out. I am so Phoenixed out. I just feel like they had their opportunity multiple times to make that storyline work. And while she may have to be in the movie, I just don't want to see any more emphasis given than what's already been given. That's just my opinion.
Hey, that's fair. Now, moving on, number one, the final pick. This is another actress currently being eyed for the X-Men reboots, reportedly as the role Mystique. And I told Tim about this choice
Yep.
maybe a week ago, and we immediately both said, I think that's a solid cast choice.
Yep.
Hunter Schafer, best known in Euphoria as Jules, or uh, I forget her character's name. I think it was Tigress in Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes from the Hunger Games series, and also played the lead in Cuckoo last year. Good body horror flick. And I think she would do a great job as Mystique.
Was Cuckoo a top 10 horror movie for you last year, right off the top of your head?
No,
Okay.
it wasn't top 10, but I'd put it just outside. It was solid body horror that didn't quite stick the landing like I wanted it to.
Yeah. I Mystique is one of my favorite characters in all of X-Men. And I like the idea of them doing something different than the
Hmm.
blonde bombshell sort of prototype. And this would be definitely a mix up for sure. And I sign off on this if it was to happen. And it's probably got my strongest amount of approval there for the number one thing that could be mentioned. I do give you some credit for not going with what was sort of low hanging fruit. in Henry Cavill as
Wolverine.
the permanent Wolverine.
The Calverine.
Right. We had the Calverine this summer. People lost their mind over it. Henry Cavill's always looking for a narrative home in superhero cinema, considering DC sort of did him wrong and dirty and kicked him to the curb, much like my boy Luka Doncic, who got screwed over.
You could say Henry Cavill was the Luca of the Zack Snyder DC franchise.
Yeah. Except Henry Cavill's conditioning was never questioned.
That's true. That man works out. Samuel, yes, I've seen that. I've seen that fan casting as Glenn Powell's Cyclops. I've just seen it everywhere to the point where it's boring. And I also think that Glenn Powell just wouldn't take the role, in my opinion.
I would love that casting.
But I would like to see it.
E.g.,
Got no problem with it.
If I ever fall back into the Luca rabbit hole, will you please snap me out of it? Just start snapping and just say,
Yeah, I can throw something at you.
no.
Oh.
No. That was not what I'm looking at. Don't use the Warhammer behind you. I'm asking for you
He's
to
like, I'll smack it out of you. I'll smack some sense into you.
just start waving at me and tell me, hey, it's okay. It's going to be okay. That sort of thing. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Thank you. I need somebody to reel me back in because, it just happens. I just occasionally, end up. So I don't need to do it now again.
Yeah.
Okay, good job. Let's play some Tim with Tim. Excellent job, by the way, Tyler. Like, really strong list and great conversation. So I can tell you're passionate about that list and your choices, and you defended each one of them. And I appreciate you putting the effort into that you did. Let's get into 10 with Tim. This can be an unranked game today. I'm just looking for good answers, good conversation. I'm too hurt emotionally by the Okay. Let's go to question number 1. E.g., who is the most well-dressed person you've ever known personally?
My grandma.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Jean Stacer. She is the most fabulous. She always looks put together, can make anything look good. She is 86, and I borrow her clothes. Not kidding.
Well, there we go. That's a popular trend with y'all's generation, though, to like go in the closets of older relatives and try to make the old come back to life with the new.
Yeah.
Right? Is that fair?
Yeah, I will say with Mama Jean, as we call her style is so like impeccable that she has never looked trendy, but has never looked out of style. She looks so classic. She's incredible.
Does Jean wear jeans?
Occasionally.
Does Jean wear gray jeans, thus
No.
calling her Jean Grey?
No.
Okay. I'm tying it all together. Unfortunately, it's not working. Another thing that didn't work was the trade.
Nope.
Okay. Thank you, E.G.
Welcome.
Tyler, who's someone that you know personally that you've always considered to be very well dressed? Anybody? It could potentially be someone who, I don't know, is in the Culver studio right now.
Oh yeah, me. Yeah, I got drip every day.
Good answer, Tyler. Good answer.
It's
okay.
If Tyler keeps this level of like insane confidence up,
I know
he's gonna get traded to the Lakers if he's not careful, which hurts us.
I'll allow it.
Hurts us
I'll
all.
allow that one.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Move to this. Name someone famous with a voice that creeps you out, Tyler. Name someone famous that when you hear their voice, you're like, that kind of creeps me out. And it can either be like it creeps you out because it's like very deep and sounds like a horror movie's about to start, or it can creep you out from like that voice doesn't match that person. Do you need more time?
Yeah, I'm gonna need more time on this.
You better be happy this isn't a ranked
You know
game.
what? I have honestly. One. This is such a weird poll. The girl from iCarly, the blonde one.
Oh, Jeanette McCurry.
Yeah, I don't like her voice. It's a little too deep, and it just kind of weirds me out.
Wow. That is a random poll there.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that was coming up?
Not me.
Tyler, you have anybody whose voice you just feel like it immediately creeps you out? Anybody at all? Like, you ever heard the singer Tiny Tim?
That is
Tiny Tim
that's a great pull because his voice doesn't sound like it should come out of any human.
Correct. I can do a Tiny Tim impression, but we would not be able to process it properly.
Oh no, we hear it. I got to hear a few bars of "Tiptoe Through the Tulips."
Anyway, I can't do it, but I don't want to cause any problems, but do you have one time? Do you have one to submit?
Can this be a rank game?
Passing.
I really don't have one.
We watch
Nobody.
movies.
Yeah, but the voices don't. Who would scare me? Like, what voice?
What about like Vincent Price? Do y'all know Vincent Price's voice?
No.
He's the guy that opens up the Thriller song with Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah, his voice is
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
creepy.
He's got a kind of like a, that's kind of a creepy
Sinister
voice.
voice.
Yeah. So there's no voice right now that comes to mind. Can we circle back at least? Can we just
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
think
think of
about it?
this.
Process it.
Wow. I asked Tyler to lay out 7 X-Men in 5 minutes, and he has a PowerPoint presentation. I asked him for one celebrity's voice.
I know, Tim.
I know if it was a ranked game, you'd be running away with it.
Yeah.
Move on to this. And now he's Googling. What percentage of
Tony Todd,
Tony Todd, rest in
Robert
peace.
England.
Okay. You're just picking scary
Mm.
Candyman and Freddy Krueger so far. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go to EG with this one. What percentage of the time will you leave a voicemail if a call's not answered?
Oh, all the time.
Oh, so you are one of those horrible people that will leave a voicemail.
Well, to the people I know, yeah, I think it's so sweet to hear voices of just like checking in, popping in.
Okay. Tyler, are you also of the same mindset? You'll always leave a voicemail, or do you like hang up and try calling back, or hang up and never leave a voicemail?
I do not leave a voicemail. If you don't pick up and I'm not like trying to get a job from you, I'm not leaving a voicemail. You can call me back.
There we go.
You've got my number.
Yeah, I am like chronically talking on the phone all the time, all hours of the day. Love being on the phone. We looked at like the minute by family on the Verizon website a couple months ago. It's insane. I definitely peak in terms of minutes spent speaking on my phone.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's another thing that makes you sort of stand out in your generation, because your generation typically likes FaceTime
Yeah.
or text
Yeah.
or Snapchat or whatever.
Great.
That
Love
was
a phone call.
phone call. Okay. Good old fashioned phone call. Use a rotary phone by chance? Sometimes.
Be opposed to it.
Next question. What song right now, EG, are you currently enjoying listening to the most?
Pink Pony Club.
Pink Pony Club
Yep. I
from
always want to say Chappelle. Chapel Rowan.
Chapel Roan. I think.
Roan.
Roan. I think it's Roan.
Chapel Roan. And that was because one of her songs came on last night at poker. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's a good song. And then I listened to Pink Pony Club on the way home.
No, Tyler, you would love this
Oh,
story.
yeah.
I'm sitting there and the Chapel Roan, the popular one, comes on of
It wasn't Pink Pony Club. I don't know what it's called.
I don't remember either.
Is it the Hot to Go?
No.
Whatever
Never?
it's the one that's getting the most radio airplay in the whole entire world.
Femininomenon?
It's not, but that's exactly what EG called it. She's
I
like,
turned and I
this is
said,
femininomenon.
yeah. And you're like, no, it's not. But I had just,
I want to say something. I was watching news coverage, breaking news coverage this past weekend,
okay.
and they were talking about an event that had taken place, and they said, this event has taken place outside the Ross Dress for Less.
They did not.
I promise you they said it 15 times, and every time I'm like, damn right it did. Ross Dress for Less. That is the name of the store. It's not a slogan. It's the name of the store.
Then they need a new name.
Well, I disagree.
Gosh, blush.
I love Ross Dress for Less. We move on to this. And that is to Tyler saying, what song are you currently listening to the most?
No, you said enjoying listening to at the moment, not listening to the most.
Okay, sorry. What song are you currently enjoying listening to the most?
I haven't really been listening to
Ranked
much
game,
music.
please.
But like, it can be an old song. It doesn't have to be a new song. It can be
I'm not saying a new song. I'm just saying one I've been listening to. I've been listening to more podcasts in
Okay,
the car
so-
lately. No, I've been listening to something. I feel ashamed of myself. You know what? Give me Outlaw Blues by Bob Dylan, since I actually have been listening to the Timothy Chalamet cover of it.
Okay, there we go. You saved yourself. I was worried.
Somehow Chalamet does a better job than Bob Dylan did on any of his songs.
You were on the ropes there in a non-ranked game of being knocked out.
Yeah, it's been rough.
It's been a rough one. It's just questions about yourself.
I know I put all my energy into the X-Men.
Okay, we're going to go to this. Which day of the week is typically your least favorite, Tyler? Which day of the week is typically your least favorite?
Monday.
Mondays?
Yeah, easy choice.
Definitely not the answer that I'm going to give after what was a wonderful poker night last night. E.g., what day of the week is typically your least favorite?
I don't have a least favorite day of the week, I would say. I feel like I enjoy each of them for different reasons. I don't like the time of day from like 3 to 5 p.m. And I know I'm kind of changing your question,
Okay.
but 3 to 5 p.m. I don't like, especially Central Time where it gets dark at like 4:30. It makes
Yes,
me really
us
angry.
darn centralists over here in Alabama. By the way, Tyler, can you tell me what time it is right now?
3 o'clock.
Is it 3
Okay.
o'clock?
So EG has officially gone into hate mode right
Like,
now.
I think it's just because this time of day in school is when practice would be. And like you'd be so tired from school and you had to go out and practice.
Yeah.
So I don't love this time of day, but I like all days of the week for their own reasons.
I can relate. You gotta like get your second wind after eating
Yeah.
the most unhealthy school lunch you can imagine.
It's
It's like
dark
here's some
outside.
bread filled with cheese and a chocolate milk. Now try
Go,
not to fall asleep.
go run.
Yeah, go run.
Okay. Going on to this. If you were stuck on an island, Tyler, you're stuck on an island, but you have one fully staffed non drive through restaurant on the island with you. And I've seen this, it happens on Survivor. What establishment would you choose? Can't have a drive through window, so you can't pick Culver's, unfortunately. And you're getting Culver's tomorrow, so that's awesome. But you're on an island, you can pick one fully staffed sit down restaurant. Which one are you choosing?
My first instinct was to say a sushi place because I feel like I can eat sushi pretty much any day.
Island vibes too.
Yeah. You got fresh seafood right there. That's might have to go with that. My other thought was a Jim and X because you gotta stock up on the cheese biscuits so you don't lose weight on the deserted island.
Okay. There's a strong answer here, a little bit of a local flavor. What are you going with, EG?
I'm going with Wolfgang Puck Steakhouse.
Okay. Feel like there was one more thing there. Wolfgang Puck has a lot of restaurants.
Yeah,
I was thinking it was like a fondue place.
No.
I know for a
No?
steak or like a Howes. Oh, steak all day, every day. White tablecloths. Be nice.
Okay. Sounds like EG is not coming back from the island.
No. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? The chance to like tan, play in the water, come in for a steak, go back out.
What else would you need
What else
other
would I
than,
need?
I don't know, being able to talk on the phone as much as you do? You wouldn't be able to do that out there.
I wouldn't have my phone.
No, you're isolated. Just you and Wolfgang
The
Puck's
kitchen staff.
restaurants. Yeah. Yeah. And none of them speak the language. So,
Okay, I'd learn it.
okay. Sure you would.
I try. I have time, all the time in the
I
world.
know. You're the most like defensive optimist I've ever met. It's like if you put EG in a corner, she figures out how to chisel out. EG would break out of prison if you were to put her in prison. She'd find a way out.
Yes.
Okay. Whew, I'm
Yes.
scared now. We move on to this. Who do you think would be someone incredibly difficult to work for here in the USA? EG.
Incredibly difficult to work for.
Correct. Someone that you feel like would be incredibly difficult to work for would
Ooh,
be who?
interesting question.
And I know you're thinking in your head, like, who do I want to say so that way?
Does this have to be someone we have not worked for?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to say yes to that.
Mm,
You know exactly who you just saved.
I'm
Tyler,
pondering.
Do you have an answer while EG thinks?
Uh, as much as I love the guy and admire his creativity, his passion, his out of the box thinking,
Oh yeah.
Kanye would be a nightmare to work for.
Yeah,
It'd be a
that's a
nightmare.
good one.
It's taken off the
He
board
made
now.
some of the best music of my lifetime, but you really want to be that guy's assistant? No.
No.
No,
2
thank
days in a row with Kanye being brought up on the show.
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yep.
Tell me why.
I think one, any Hollywood actor slash actress slash singer on Tyler's vein of train of thought would be very difficult to work with, but specifically Ryan Reynolds, I feel like he's based on some headlines recently, a little egotistical, a little cray cray. This is just me
Oh,
saying that from my own opinion.
okay. This is your vibe check on Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, and I don't think I'd want to work for that entity.
Gotcha.
you think he's the type to disconnect your Mint Mobile and then put you in a movie?
Potential. Potential.
By the way, potential means potentially for those that are wondering.
Jody, you actually have the best answer. I just have to call it out. He said Diddy.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that is the
Hey, Diddy ain't hiring right now
he is not hiring. That's true. You can go apply, Jody.
unless it's a lawyer.
Beyonce would
Yeah,
be hard to work for.
I think so.
A lot of similar theories with her.
I know that Hunter was answering the previous question of what restaurant do you want out there on the island, which is any kind of hibachi, honestly.
Hmm.
But it also works for this. I feel like it'd be really tough to work at a hibachi place. I would have a tough time
Yeah, you
working in a
be too
hibachi
far from the
place.
grill.
If I somehow flip the egg up with the price of eggs right now and it doesn't land in my big chef's cap, I'm going to end up fired in one day.
Yeah.
So what if your onion volcano has an eruption?
That's the goal of the
Yeah.
onion volcano,
Yeah,
though.
but what if it's like catastrophic?
Could be. There's supposedly a hibachi horror movie coming out where there's a death sequence that takes place at a hibachi restaurant. I can't think of anything you'd like less,
I
e.g.,
love hibachi.
like a really violent horror movie at a hibachi restaurant.
Human Hibachi is a 2019 found footage film.
Okay.
Is this a new movie coming out, or
Yes.
is that the one you're talking about?
Tyler, we've stumbled into gold here because I didn't know human hibachi existed. Okay, so thank you for doing that. But I'm talking about the monkey. The monkey is going to have a hibachi sequence. in it.
Oh, okay.
Slice and dice.
So human hibachi has nothing to do with hibachi, is what I'm finding out. This looks absolutely disturbing. Here's the plot synopsis.
Gosh.
Dude, I mean,
Chronicling a woman's
wait,
35th
wait. After your trash story that showed human ribs on display, I don't know if we want to go here.
Those were removed by a doctor. It's
No.
like if you went and had surgery on something, like you get like your gallbladder or something in a jar, your tonsils.
I don't think they hand them out as souvenirs afterwards. I think
No, but the fact that we
I
had
think you can
human
ask.
ribs on display for like far too long, and Brown had to literally be like, "Can we please get this off of the screen?"
You know what? I couldn't find a picture of the crown she was gonna make out of her ribs, so that's why
All right,
the
next
picture of the ribs
question.
exists. Anyway,
No,
Human Hibachi
no,
chronicles a
no,
woman's 35th
no,
birthday
no.
party from
La
start to.
la la.
Okay, I'm having to kill both of your microphones because we can't get along here, okay? This is going to somehow turn into 7 with Tim, and that's going to be incredibly sad to me. So, can I trust two things? Number one, e.g., you won't block Tyler out any longer. And Tyler, you won't discuss e.g. Can we come up with this agreement here? I'm turning the microphones on right now.
This
Yes.
the synopsis isn't even bad. I want to point that out. I feel like EG always thinks I'm going to take it to 10, and that's not the
What number are you going to take it to?
You said chronic. You said disturbing.
I said the movie looks disturbing.
I'll tell you what's disturbing, the Luka Doncic trade. Can you look into that? Because it's disturbing how that was able to happen.
Tell me
Anyway,
more.
this is
Tell me
about
more,
several
Tim.
rich cannibals that frequent a Japanese-owned restaurant and pay the owner to prepare their victims for consumption. So it doesn't sound like all that scary, just kind of gross.
EG's like, I have very few things in life that are an escape for me. Hibachi's one of them. Don't worry. Right?
Well, there's a sequel apparently.
I blame Hunter for bringing hibachi into the chat.
Well, there you go.
We're going to quickly get through these last 3, and then EG, you can exit the studio
Thank
in
you.
disgust and never come back until tomorrow when we open up a DVD mystery box.
Heck yes.
Here we go.
I hope we get a DVD of Human Hibachi.
Put it on the board.
If we do, Tyler, it will be an all-time like.
Oh yeah.
And you know who will be terrified throughout the whole is Joe. He'll be like,
Joe.
what is going
What's
on?
happening?
Okay, next question.
Or Hunter, because it'll mean he's psychic.
Tyler, are you good at remembering all your passwords?
More or less. What was
Why
that
are you
face,
offended?
EG?
No, I mean, I'm just like, you remember more of his movie catalog than him.
Yeah, but I remember my passwords. I don't have to ask Tim what's my login to my email.
Both of you are correct, but yes, I don't know any of Tyler's passwords. I can't say that for all Disrupt Media employees of all time, but what I can say is that
True.
I don't know his passwords, but the question is, does Tyler know his own passwords?
And the answer is, you know what? Everything's been invoiced properly, so I do. I got it all done yesterday.
Good for you.
Yes.
EG, are you good at remembering all your passwords?
Yes.
You use the same one for everything?
No. No.
You don't.
I have a multitude of combinations.
Have you heard the best thing to do is to have completely random generated passwords for everything you do and just have a
Software that remembers it all?
password manager that remembers it all?
To me, I don't like the idea of a password manager having all my passwords.
Well, the password manager is multi-factor authentication, like,
Yeah. I have my own system.
okay.
Have you heard of the tip that the best password you can make is actually a passphrase? And so you should think of common phrases that you would remember or movie quotes even.
Luca traded to Los Angeles. Okay,
One,
here
two,
we go.
three! Exclamation point. Capitalized.
Absolutely.
I used to use a chunk. No, Captain Chunk as my
One of
password.
my still most popular passwords is my Webkins password.
The way Dallas talks about Luca, that could be the same type of password there, the way they talk about his conditioning. Anyway, you said your what password, huh?
My Webkins password is still one of my most used passwords.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Webkins got hit with a bunch of cybersecurity stuff over the years.
Yeah, they got
It-
shut down.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's not good.
Ow, didn't even know that.
Okay. Question number 9. We are almost to the finish line, everybody. Hang in there.
Trying.
Question 9. I'm going to start with Tyler. Name a casting choice in any television series or movie that you hate.
That I hate.
A casting choice in any television series or movie that you hate. Is there any time where you have watched a movie and gone, this person is completely miscast? For me recently, Hey 19 The Widowmaker, I feel very passionately that Harrison Ford is miscast as a Russian submarine captain.
I would agree with that.
Like, that's our boy, just like Luca was our boy in Dallas, and they got rid of him. Sorry. Harrison Ford is a proud American patriot on the screen, and he shouldn't be playing some Russian in K-19 The Widowmaker, in my opinion. So that's mine. EG, do you have one?
Yes, I do. And
Okay.
it's kind of I'm not very passionate about it, but I did read the Twilight books, and I thought Kristen Stewart as Bella Swan was awful.
Mm,
Awful. And honestly, Robert Pattinson as Edward Cullen, awful. Taylor Lautner as Jacob, perfect.
got it. So you were Team Jacob.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, in the books, I think I was Team Edward. I can't remember. I think movie was Team Jacob.
Oh, so you were a double
She
agent.
she was Team Taylor Lautner.
You could say.
Okay. Taylor Lautner and Taylor Swift dated briefly.
And then
They
he
did.
married a Taylor.
He did marry a Taylor?
Yeah.
Okay. But now they're like, every time Taylor Swift goes and performs anywhere, Taylor Lautner just pops up like, hey, everybody, remember me?
Yeah, him and his wife, Taylor, are good friends with Taylor Swift.
Okay. It's
Lots
too,
of Taylors.
it's too intense.
Taylor Tuesday.
No.
Taylor Lautner's wife is Taylor Dome. I don't know what Taylor Dome does, but
I think she is just married to Taylor Lautner.
oh, well, that's a pretty good gig.
Yeah. Agreed.
One movie cast choice I hate. I hate Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise in Interview
Interview
with
with
the Vampire. I think awful choices. Awful. I'm a big fan of the original Anne Rice novel. And when I first watched the movie, I just cannot see Brad Pitt as Louis. Although I will say that is a much better choice than Tom Cruise as Lestat.
Wow.
I think Antonio Banderas, oddly enough, is the best casting choice in that movie as the French vampire Armand.
You're bringing some heaters here, Tyler. That's good stuff. Good stuff from everybody. But I do think if EG doesn't pick Twilight, the vampire movie doesn't maybe pop to your mind.
You are correct.
Okay. So I think EG's a trendsetter.
She did she jogged my memory there.
Do what I can.
Last question.
Jody says Christopher Walken in Dune 2, which you're not wrong. I wouldn't say it's like it's miscast. It's more just like, why is Christopher Walken here?
Well, the spice.
I was walking across the desert.
Correct. Sandworms. Okay, I'm done. If you were to think back,
Bless
You
you.
put the spice up this.
What is
All
happening?
right.
Here's what I know.
I'm done.
here's what I know. Tyler acted it out and immediately swapped the camera out of shame to me. to just be full on reaction.
I couldn't finish that.
Please don't.
It's been a long week.
He acted it
It's
out.
Tuesday.
I know.
Yeah, I know, and I still haven't slept.
Yeah, remember,
no.
Monday's his least favorite day of the week.
Oh no.
So
Sorry, Tyler.
we are finally to question number 10 in what has
I know.
been a cinematic journey. If you were to think back, e.g., what was likely in your grade school lunchbox on this day in third grade?
All right, my mom would have packed me a cheese stick, a turkey roll up, some Tostitos, some sort of fruit, a veggie, and maybe a brownie or cookie from the night before, and my water bottle.
To the entire food pyramid.
Yeah, is that what it's supposed to be?
I mean, I guess, but I mean, that's pretty intense.
I'm just thinking about
Fruits and veggies in a third grade lunchbox?
yeah, apple slices and peanut butter, and then like maybe some carrots. And my mom is a very she's an ingredient household. If you guys know what that means, that trend on TikTok. Instead of snacks, we had ingredients. So if we had to,
E.g., I'm going to just break it to you. Half the stuff you say is all new to me.
that's how I feel about you guys.
It's a perfect match then.
It is.
Because I don't know what it is you're talking about half the time. You could be making stuff up,
Yeah,
you know.
I feel the same about you
An
guys.
ingredient household, like there's bags of flour and
No,
stuff
literally, like
everywhere.
you had to, and I actually like the way it's described. Like we had chocolate chips and like I don't know, like mini wheats with strawberry frosting was like considered a sugary cereal for us.
So basically what you're saying is you had very few, if any, processed foods in the
Yeah, and like no, like the only snack food we had, I mean, would have tortilla chips, but were brown sugar Pop Tarts because my mom liked them. That was it.
Okay. Let me be a little rude.
Okay.
All you eat is gummy worms and the most
Yes.
processed
So-
candy in the
All
world
of-
now.
all
So
of it.
what's funny is like when like at my apartment, like when I do cook, can I tell you like what is on like in my fridge right now? Okay. It's called Marchovka and it's matchstick
You're
carrots.
not beating the Russian agent
I know.
allegations.
Not only that, I'm willing to bet everything in that fridge is above our pay grade.
No.
That's what it sounds like.
Shredded. No, it's literally grated carrots, vinegar, cayenne pepper, a ton of garlic, and then you put hot oil over it, and it's so good. And then I've got this dip that I make pretty much every week, and it's chickpeas, black beans, corn, serrano peppers chopped up, bell peppers chopped up, like no seasonings, no nothing. You eat with tortilla chips. Those are like staples. Cucumbers. Like I eat healthy at home, but I always have my snacks with me because I never had candy growing up.
I mean, you do eat it like a fiend, like, you know.
Yeah, because I like literally we never had candy.
It's not I'm not saying it in a negative way. I'm
Yeah.
saying it as it's a part of your like character
Yeah,
in these walls.
I'll have like some gummy bears.
You constantly are like chomping on a nerd rope or something. Like
Yeah.
there's always this weird like sugar on top of sugar sort of thing, and it doesn't necessarily track with what I'm hearing based on what was in your third grade lunchbox and
Yeah.
what I'm hearing
Is in my
based on your
fridge.
home life.
Yeah,
So you're living a little bit of a double life here.
I do.
Okay.
In a
Tyler.
lot of ways.
Tyler, okay. It's third grade.
I'm not a Russian.
No one's accusing you of that. It's third grade, you get a lunchbox. What's in it?
Nothing. I ate in the cafeteria, so I had whatever slop they served up.
Mm. You know, I went through a good phase of pizza Lunchables with Capri Sun.
Oh,
Mhm.
love a Cappy Sun.
You can't just call it Capri Sun. Everything's got to
It
have a
wasn't
nickname.
even
Cappy Sun.
like an abbreviation.
It's not a
No,
shortcut.
that's what we called it though. Cappy Suns. Cappy Sun Fridays. Me and my friends bring Capri Suns in high school.
Do you call anything by its actual name? No, because you won't say Ross Dress for Less. You call everything a shortened version
Rosh
of
Dress for
itself.
Less.
Cappy Suns.
Cappy
Okay.
Sun.
I had a Cappy Sun and I had some Dunkaroos. Those were awesome.
Oh, donkeys?
Yeah, donkeys. And then I would really like the school sometimes would sell warheads,
Ooh, yum.
and I love warheads. It's
Yeah.
like the most sour thing I could get my hands on. I like
Good.
sour stuff.
Yeah.
I cannot handle spicy stuff, but I can handle the sourest of sour stuff.
That's interesting.
Sour's fine. Spicy, man, just the lightest amount of spice sends me down for
Oh.
the count crying. Like, I don't know,
You-
the Mavericks traded away my best player, sort of crying.
Yeah. Hate when
I-
that happens.
You're not gonna do well when we do the hot ones challenge.
I don't plan to participate.
I'm not, I mean,
You're really not.
I think I would die. Like, if you guys are prepared to do an in memoriam
So,
show,
it's just gonna be me and Scott. At that point, we barely have a
ooh,
video.
I think I would die. But anyway, we'll talk through it. I'm willing to negotiate.
Gotta bring this up in the chat. Hunter says we had hot dogs in the cafeteria in my high school that were so processed you could bounce them off the ground.
Mm.
I think we might have gone to the same school, Hunter. We're gonna have to talk that out because I remember people in my school doing the exact same thing, bouncing a hot dog wiener off the ground and seeing if you can hit the ceiling with it. You can, by the way, with
And
enough training, enough effort.
we wonder why public education is failing our kids. This conversation right here.
Well, maybe don't feed them that
I
as their
agree.
brain food.
yeah, agreed.
I totally agree with you. But I feel like it also went too far the other direction of like, we're going to take all this bad food out of here for you. All right, great. Now we're going to give you fake broccoli. It's like,
Well,
Yeah,
okay.
wait, what? And
So
super small portions.
that is something I hear. I always hear a back and forth of when school lunches come up is the healthy school lunch program that happens like
2008.
2008 2010 right around there. The schools did not just switch out the fried stuff and replace it with healthy stuff. They just gave you less portions. So instead of 6 chicken nuggets, you get 3.
I luckily
There's your healthy lunch.
graduated in 2007 and didn't have to deal with Michelle Obama's tyranny on school cafeteria lunches.
Yeah, elementary school, I went to public school, and I remember prior, but my mom packed our lunches.
I'm sorry, something popped in my head.
Okay.
I've got to ask you about.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Okay, I think you know, like,
Where this is going?
well, yeah. Okay, explain to me, because I think it has something to do with the awful lunches being offered in high school, the freshman 15 in college. Explain to me the phenomenon of that being like almost every freshman deals with when they get to college. Is it because they have,
Alcohol.
is it just alcohol?
Alcohol. Yeah.
No.
I gained the freshman 50, but I wasn't even. It wasn't even drinking.
Well, but it's a combination of
I
things.
think it's freedom is what it
It's-
is.
well, that's what I'd say.
That's part of what it is. And then, like, if you're typical freshman, say living on campus, you have like your meal card or whatever, and you typically don't have as much options to cook your own food or go for healthy light options.
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
it's a lot of cafeterias and dining halls.
Well, you have freedom, but you're also eating late at night typically. So if you're out and then, let's just say you're, drinking and then you go to cookout every night, or that just becomes your quick answer, cookout, Taco Bell, you have the freedom to do it. No one's telling you when to go. And those midnight runs, it's like, oh my gosh, like we can go out. We don't have a curfew. Like go to the gas station, get a bunch of candy. I think that it's stress related too. I think that's a lot of it for people is that they realize, oh my gosh, I'm like actually have to make choices that are good. And I don't have a parent telling me what to do. And then overindulgence in certain things because you have no one buying your own groceries or, monitoring you while you go to the dining hall to get healthy options.
So it's a mixture of all things.
Yeah.
It's change of lifestyle, change of pace.
Sleeping habits, stress. Yeah.
Were y'all stressed college students, or did you actually kind of enjoy the experience?
I loved it. I loved it.
Okay. Tyler, you just
Total opposite.
you were totally stressed the whole time?
Oh my gosh. That was the worst 4 years I've ever spent. I thought high school was awful. No. High school is like stupidly easy. But college, it's like a lot of the same issues of high school plus harder classes that actually matter and
Yeah.
your future's waiting on them.
See, I was like way more I loved being able to have the flexibility of college.
See,
Yeah.
I liked the freedom, but I don't think I've ever been more stressed in my life. It was very unhealthy.
So I will say this, and again, a lot of this was, going to the middle school and high school I went to, which was college preparatory. When I got to college, my class load actually got a lot more simple and simplified. So I felt like I was prepared going into college when it came to classwork and expectations and grades and things like that. And so that was one area that I was like, wait a second, like I can do this, but obviously not the norm, but I'm very thankful I had that because when I transitioned to college, it wasn't drastic in terms of classwork and deadlines and things like that. And, in a lot of ways, I was like, wait a second, like I actually enjoyed this better because I'm learning about something I want to learn about with my degree. And I got a lot of those core classes out of the way with AP credits.
Tell you what I loved about college, night classes. I'm not a morning person.
Really?
I loved taking night classes in college. Like,
Interesting.
as much as I possibly could, I would schedule a night class. I loved it.
I would not schedule a class after 2.
Oh, no. If it was like 6:30, 7:00, 8:00, I would be there. Loved
Really?
it.
Interesting.
I'm so much sharper the later in the day it gets.
Interesting.
I am too, but I like EG. I wouldn't schedule anything like afternoon
Yeah. But
because there's just no shot I'll make it.
I had a job where I worked every weekend. Friday nights, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. And nights just worked perfect for me.
Yeah.
Because like my weekend was Monday during the day of being able to like,
Just
yeah,
relax.
Sunday night into Monday, that was like having a full on like, oh, I'm good because I don't have to go anywhere in the morning.
So
So,
you had classes at night, and then other days you had work at night.
well, I had work Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays. I had classes Monday through Thursday.
Gotcha.
No
Okay.
Friday classes, no weekend classes. So it worked
Okay.
out really
Well,
well.
that works out because your entire schedule was basically afternoons to nights.
Yeah, loved it.
I would stack mine all day Tuesday, all day Thursday, and then not have Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes.
Mm.
Oh, those are the days.
Until Tuesday and Thursday gets there, and then you're like, oh darn it, I got a ton of things to.
And
See, at Auburn, Tuesday, Thursday classes were longer too.
yeah, they were longer. Yeah, yeah. So I was taking more like coursework those 2 days, hour and 10-minute
15,
classes,
yeah, something like
15-minute
that.
classes compared to a 50-minute class. But I was like, I want my weekend starting on Thursday, my week starting on a Tuesday. And with like what I was doing in terms of athletics, it worked out perfectly because, all day Friday I could prep for Saturday's game and Monday basketball and Wednesday basketball. So it's the best. Go Eagles.
I rolled burritos at night. It was awful. I would roll burritos till about 4 in the morning, go home, crash for a few hours, be in class at 9.
Yeah, that's not good,
No,
Tyler.
no, it's not.
That's
It's
not
not.
healthy.
Don't anyone do that. It's awful.
Samuel is in the chat, providing a lot of insight here. Also talking about the Dallas Mavericks, saying
Oh, what is he saying?
Samuel says that he's also a Mavs fan and he's devastated and he's in the bargaining phase of grief. But says, Tim, serious question. How bad do you have to eat to play 40 minutes a night in the NBA and still gain weight?
Ooh.
I don't think anybody played more minutes in the NBA than Luka Doncic did last season from start to finish, all the way through every game in the postseason, all that. Obviously, they were in the finals, so that helps pad the numbers. But I mean, he played a lot of minutes. And weight was supposedly a serious issue for the Dallas Mavericks and what they saw as his long-term future because he was getting up into the 260s and stuff like that. But he used that weight in a way that made his game, I'm going to say it over and over again, almost unstoppable. Because you couldn't put a small guy on him because he could just
Yeah.
body him up. You couldn't put a big guy on him because he could get around him. He had massive just control over his entire momentum. And Luka has proven himself to be someone who's in full control of his skill set. The Mavs, I guess, just think long term it's going to catch up to him, and he can't fight.
So what are the Lakers gonna do after Luka gets in LA and starts loading up on Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles and In-N-Out?
I think their mindset is we're going to get LeBron James to get him in the gym a lot, and yeah, he's going to have a completely different mindset. We can change him, like in relationships.
LeBron also spends a ton of money
Yeah.
just on recovery technology.
E.g., let's be transparent here.
Let's
How
do it.
many people in relationships, they see somebody who's a free agent or they see somebody who's on the market or somebody who could be a part of a relationship and they're like, I can change that person and make them a
Oh.
better person.
I think some people are chronically drawn to that situation.
It typically does not work out.
No, that's why I say chronically because they have to keep entering those relationships because they don't work out. But it's like that desire to change them, mold them 9 times out of 10, run.
All right. Well, it's going to be an interesting experiment from a basketball perspective, both having Anthony Davis in Dallas and having Luka in LA. And they got rid of, you know, heart and soul of the franchise overnight, and it felt icky how they did it.
Yeah.
Just pushed him out at 11. Anyway, I don't need to talk about this anymore because it's not good for my mentality, but we appreciate all of you being here with us. It's been such a good conversation today. We've gone about a half hour over.
I know. I'm looking at the clock and I'm like, no way, it's
That's-
3:29.
Yeah, it felt like the longest Tim with Tim ever. And then all of a sudden, we're just talking about life. And that
Yeah.
was great. I enjoyed that. Tyler, you
Me
got a
too.
final chat check-in for us.
I actually don't. Got a bit of breaking news.
Breaking
actually.
news.
Oh gosh.
I glanced at my phone. AMC has announced a new popcorn bucket for the monkey.
Okay.
Uh,
Is it just a monkey with symbols and you eat out of its head?
It is a monkey with cymbals or drumsticks maybe, and it looks like he's got the bowl in the middle. So he's got his arms around the bowl, and it's a very scary looking monkey.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for
So-
letting us know.
Possible next
That-
popcorn bucket for the studio.
There's a
I'm spotted.
hibachi scene in that movie that
There is.
is supposedly really dramatic.
Interesting.
So we'll see.
I'll have to check it
Oh.
out.
I wonder
Alright.
if the onion volcano goes okay.
I assume it's not going to. That's going to do it for us here on The Meltdown. We appreciate our title sponsor. That's MyBookie at mybookie.ag. You can win anything, anywhere, anytime. Sorry. And you can bet anything, anywhere, anytime. Sorry. I'm still thinking about the Mavericks right now, and it's messing me up.
You can win
You can.
too, as long as you don't bet on the Mavericks.
Thank you, Tyler, for saving this. Bet on anything, anywhere, anytime there, and cash out and win, or let it ride. They're at mybookie.ag. They got same-day parlays. They've got super contests. Make sure you use that promo code next round. That's the important part. That's going to get you that first-time deposit bonus there at mybookie.ag. Once again, be a winner there at MyBookie, where you can bet on anything, anywhere, anytime with MyBookie at mybookie.ag. Promo code next round. For EG, for Tyler, for Luka Doncic, I'm Tim Melton, saying goodbye on this epic Tuesday edition of Meltdown Live.